Hey YouTube, this is Oracle DBA girl, and well, today I just want to talk to you all. Well, just like the title says, just a few tips, tools, and tricks. A lot of the stuff that I'm gonna show you all are stuff that, well, it's stuff that I had no clue about what was going on when I came in. The more and more you work, the more some of this stuff will become new to you. So this is the stuff that makes your life easier as a DBA. I just wanted to talk to you all about that. I did my best to incorporate some things I do on a daily basis and tools that I use on a daily basis. So we're going to talk about that. Just keep the suggestions coming in, and as long as y'all do that, I will continue to, I guess, provide videos as we go along. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and open Putty. And okay, let's see, we're gonna go ahead and go to your database user. Alright, so to create an admin folder, you first want to cd and then backslash. Okay, it's gonna take you to like the home directory, like equivalent to the C drive. Okay, I already have a folder there. It's called ADM DBA. I don't think anything is in there, so no, it's not. So what I will do is I will go ahead and delete it, and we'll go from there. Remove, and if you all need to know how to remove a folder, this is how you do it. It's gonna be remove slash capital R lowercase f and the name of the folder. Make sure you don't have anything in that folder that is of value, because when you do it this way, it gets rid of everything. Okay, permission denied. Okay, that's actually a good thing. I can show you this. When you get permission denied, when you're in this location, the only person who have access to create a folder here is going to be root. So what you want to do is you want to su to root. So if I do that same command as root, it's gonna delete it. So now if you hit ls, well, 1 second, cd backslash, and okay, so as you can tell, it's going away, but you have to do cd backslash rm space dash capital RF space admin. But we're going to go ahead and create that, and we'll get started. So you want to do make dir admdba. Alright, so we have that out the way. Now if you hit ls minus ltr, alright, this is the last thing that was created. So if you look at it, it was created by root, and it belongs to the root group. Now we don't want it to belong to the root group, because as a DBA user, we're not going to be able to access the root group. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to change this from root to DBA. And I will be honest and tell you guys, I don't use that command every day, so I do not know it by heart. Commands that you don't use every day, it's best to keep them in a document. And I do have my document that I keep this in, and it's here. So I am looking for where is it? Do I have it on this sheet? I should have it on this sheet. Okay, here it is. Add users to group and delete users from group. So I'm going to pull up Putty, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm trying my best to go slow so you all can really see what it is that I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add testdb to DBA. Well, no, we need to change this folder directory first. And to do that, I believe I've forgotten how to do this as well. It's going to be change group, CHGRP, change group minus RV or VR, one of them. I may have to look this one up, you guys. I'm definitely going to have to look this one up, okay? Because I don't have this one, but that will be a good one to store. Okay, so we go to google.com. See, I have to use Google a lot too. And what we want to do is we want to change group owner in Linux, because this is Linux. And as a matter of fact, it is highlighted here. Okay. I don't see it yet. Okay, here it is. So what I'm going to do, because clearly I'm going to need this, I'm going to go ahead and copy it. And I'm going to save it here. Change directory to another group. And I'm going to paste that there. Okay. So based off of this command, we do change group minus RV. User group is DBA. We want it to be a part of the DBA group. And then we're going to put that folder there, which is ADM-DBA. Okay. So it says change group. It changed the folder to DBA. So if we do ls minus LTR, it says DBA. Now the next thing that you want to do, in the previous videos, I don't think I showed you all how to change your user from your user to the DBA group. I'm going to show you how to do that now. The DBA group have more privileges associated to your database instead of what they originally comes with. So what you want to do is you want to do ID test DB, ID test DB, and it shows me that, okay, it doesn't say DBA anywhere. It just says that you're in this group, test DB, and that's basically it. So what we want to do is, if you come over here and look at my paper, it says user mod A G group DBA, and the name is going to be test DB. Now if you do ID test DB, it shows that it's in the DBA group. So now we have to do one more thing. We have to give this read and write privileges, because right now it has execute, but it doesn't have read and write privileges. It has execute and read, but it does not have write. So we're going to give it read and write privileges also. And for read and write privileges, it's going to be change mod 775 to ADM-DBA. So now, if you look here, it has an X and an R. The next, we should see a W here. If we do ls minus LTR, okay. As you can tell, it has that right there now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to exit out of root, because we're done with root. And what we want to do is cd /. Okay, so now we want to cd into ADM-DBA and ls. It's nothing there. Now we're going to create some directories that I think is extremely important. The first one that we're going to create is going to be make directory backups. Still not allowing me to create the backup, the directory, and I'm not 100% sure why. So give me just a second, you guys. Let me figure out what's going on here. Hey, you guys. Okay. All I did was go out and I exit putty and I reopened it. Check the permissions and everything is fine. It works great. So I will just show you all exactly what I did. But all I did was I checked the permissions. As you can see, it still says read, write, execute. So I just closed putty and I went back into it and test DB. Alright, so ID test DB. As you can see, it says DBA. So I went back there, ls minus LTR. It says DBA. We're in the same group. So then I CD to ADM DBA. ls, there's nothing there. So make directory backups. It made it. I'm not sure why it wouldn't allow us to the first time, but when I exited out and came back in, it worked great. So we got a backup directory, make directory clone, make directory patches, and I'm forgetting one, make directory scripts, and make directory for any software that you download. Alright, so we just created those. If we do ls, there they are. And if you do ls minus LTR, you will see this time that the owner is testDB, and that testDB is able to access it. But again, what we're going to do is we're going to make this these folders, we're going to give the ownership to the DBA group. That way, if you create multiple databases, whoever's in the database group will be able to access these folders. So they already have read and write and execute for the group. So what we want to do now is the same thing, change group minus RV DBA backups. Okay, and as you can see, change group of backups to DBA, and just copy the command and paste it, and then we're going to do clones. And then same thing, copy the command, paste it, patches. So then we're going to do copy the command, paste it, scripts. Wait, I'm sorry, space, scripts. So then we're going to do software. So if you do ls minus LTR, as you can see, it's owned by the database group. So anybody that wants to access the database, anybody who belongs to the database group will be able to access these files and read and write and execute from these files. So that is creating the admin folder, and just whatever you want to put in there. As you learn more about cloning and patches and database and scripts, you're going to be able to. We're actually going to use the script folder today to do some of the things that I found. Okay, so let's go see what's next. Set up alias to admin directories. Okay, we're going to set up an easier way to access these. And what I mean, like let's say I type S. Well, I get that right now, command not found. But normally it would take me to the script directory. We're going to go ahead and do that. I think I actually already have that out. But what we're going to do is first we're going to we're going to CD to our home. So if you just type CD, it'll take you to your home. We're in the test database home. So the first thing we're going to do is vi our dot profile. We are going to store the alias in our dot profile, dot database. That way, every time we do that, we source the profile database. Our scripts, our aliases will already be in there. I'm sorry, you guys. It's been a long day. If you look at this document, I already have them. And what I'm going to do for you all, I guess I can type it out to show you all. But as you can tell, it's definitely useful to save your commands in a document. Linux command, SQL commands, you want to have a document for that. And this document is just for Linux command. I also have a separate document for just SQL command. I also have a document that's specific to my databases at work. And I also have a document that is specific to testing databases. So you definitely want to do documentation. Documentation is a very big deal when it comes to being a DBA, because we forget, you guys. We are humans and we forget. We cannot remember everything. And I've learned that documentation and your jump drive is going to be your best friend. So what we're going to do here is escape, enter. Am I here? Let's see. Okay, escape, and then and then enter. Now, I have it here, but okay, let's do shift. Am I in insert? Go ahead and get in insert mode. I am in insert mode, but you're gonna do shift. That's shift pound and alias. And anytime you see that, this is called coming out. Anytime you see the pound button, the pound sign in front of words or anything, that means that when we source this, the system is not going to read this line. So it's not going to read alias. It's also not going to read shortcuts. But alias is just another word for shortcuts. So, we're not going to come out these next lines. So the database is going to read it. So I have here alias equal parentheses CD. And it's just common sense. We want a CD to that directory. So I actually forgot. I'm sorry. Alias S equal. And we want a CD to ADMDBA scripts. So when we type S, it's going to take us to this directory. This directory basically. Okay, so we have that one. Then we're going to do alias B, and that's going to be equal to. Attention to detail is also very key, you guys. I can't stress that enough. You definitely have to pay attention to everything you're doing. Okay, alright. So, CD, ADMDBA, and we're going to do backup. So, when we hit B, it's going to take us to the backups folder. Alright, so alias C equals CD ADMDBA clones and alias DBA. Okay, now I can also tell you this about the alias DBA. You will never ever probably see this in a production setting. I just like it because sometimes I really tire of typing SQL plus as Sys DBA. So now, well, that's right, SQL plus as Sys DBA. Now I don't have to type it with this command, and that's why I love alias. You're gonna have all kind of alias for everything in a production setting. You just have to learn what's key to your job. So now that we have that typed in, we're gonna shift : write it and quit it. So now if I do it, it's not going to work because it's not set. So if I do dot profile and hit enter, if I do B, it takes you to backup. If I do C, it takes you to clone. If I do S, it takes you to scripts. And if I do DBA, it takes me to SQL. That's just made life simpler. So I hope that can be beneficial to you all. Another thing, while I'm here that I can mention. Let me go back to C clones. Actually, well, your clones, you want to go ahead and make directories for your test database. And let me do this. This is another database I have on the system. And if I do it here, I don't think it'll take me there unless I have it set up. I don't have it set up, so it's not going to take me there. Let me make sure. I do have it set up, so it will take me there. So make directory DB. I did it that way. Permission denied. Okay, it doesn't. I'm not. Remember I told you about the permissions. I need to add this user to the DBA group. Right now it is not in the DBA group. I need to add it to the DBA group. So let me go ahead and do that right quick. So I want to user mod -a -g DBA dev DB ID DE. Okay, so now it says that it's a part of that group. So if I exit out of here and I'm at that location, I might have to close putty again. Let's see, make directory dev DB. Let's see if I close putty and reopen it. Dev DB. Okay. Source my profile and go to C, make directory dev DB. Okay, so that's how it worked. And the reason why I showed you all, I just want to show you all the difference between the two. Well, we still have one more thing we need to do here. If you all can see, I made this with test DBA, right? And I made this with dev DBA. But what I want to also do here is I want to add those two folders to the DBA group. It's very important when you start getting into permissions, because there's going to be a lot of time in a production environment where if the permissions are not set correctly, you will not have access to a folder. It's going to be very, very, very just aggravating. That's the best way I can put it. So cd adm dba and ls -ltr, cd in the clones, ls -ltr. So now we want to change group. You're going to use this a lot in your test environment, and the more you use these, the more when you go into a production setting, stuff start to make sense. Like I said, this is all to help things make sense to you all. But change group -rv. Let's see, what am I doing here? Okay, DBA, and we're gonna do test DB, and the same thing, change group -rv DBA dev DB. So now if we do an ls -ltr, you see it's owned by DB. So basically what that means, even if I was a dev DB, I could access this permission unless I changed it. You can change it. It doesn't matter. You can or you can't. It's just your preference. I just like for the DBA user to have access to everything. Like I said, it helps me learn and it helps me understand how everything works. So I hope that was beneficial to you all. Let's see what we have now. Alright. So, okay, extremely basic troubleshooting. Extremely basic. And I do mean extremely basic. One of the things that I learned coming in, okay, the first thing I want to do is go back to my test database user and source my profile. One of the things I learned coming in about Linux, Unix, Solaris was checking your processes. Based on your processes, it can tell you if your database is up or not, And just anytime you have an issue, the first thing you want to do is check your processes. DBA. Right now, the database is annoying. But the command that I want to show you off of this is going to be ps -ef. And by the way, this is an interview question. How do you check your processes in Linux Unix Solaris? How could you tell if the database was up or down? This is how you do it. It's going to be ps -ef. There's several ways to do it. You can grep. Well, let me just show you the different ways. You can grep. This is testdb. Okay, so basically right here, as you can tell, this just shows you the processes if it's down. Anytime you see it like this, you know your processes is down. And the reason I'm going to show you is, well, su -test database. I just did that basically. That's what I did to, you know, become a user. So that has nothing to do with your database. Bash, I believe Bash is putty. You're in putty. And ps -ef grep testdb, that looks very familiar. I know, right? Because we ran it right here. So this lets you know your database is down. So I'm going to do DBA. That's going to take me into SQL Plus. We're going to go ahead and bring the database up. Start up, open. So we just brought the database up. It says database open. So we're going to exit out of SQL Plus. And then we're going to run that same command again. Now I'm going to show you all another cool command that I like and is very beneficial to me. It's set -ovi. What that allows you to do, if you hit escape K, and every time you hit K, it takes you up to the previous commands that you've done. So what I want to do is escape K, escape K, escape K. I did that command. And so it makes life a lot faster than typing stuff over again that you've already typed. So you hit enter, I'm sorry. And now, what this do is show you everything, right? So it shows you all the stuff. It shows you a lot of stuff. Okay, when you're studying Oracle, I'm gonna show you the things you can look for. Well, I can just show you this way better. Do ps -ef grep pmon. As a matter of fact, grep testdb, and then grep pmon. I also should point this out. Let's see, ps -ef. I'm piping, you guys. I'm hitting shift and the key above the enter and below the backspace. And then that's ps -ef pipe. That's what that command is called. That syntax, whatever you want to call it, it's called pipe. ps -ef, and then you want to grep for testdb. Now, when you say grep testdb, that asks for specifically to testdb. And I'm going to show you all another example of that also. And then you can pipe again and you can grep for pmon that's only in testdb. So it just shows you for testdb. And the reason why that is important, sometimes you can have so many databases on a computer, on a server, and you will end up pulling all of those databases. And I can show you all exactly what I mean. Let me go over to my dev instance first. I believe I typed password incorrectly. I did. su dev db. Okay. So I'm not sure if I have this here. Well, let me set my profile first. I don't. So let's do this. ps -ef grep dev db. Okay, so as you can tell, based off of what you learned, you should have a clue that the database is down. So I want to go into SQL Plus. And I want to start up this database as well. And I'm going to show you all what I mean by this. Now if I exit out and exit out of here, go back to test, let's see what I have. See what escape K do. Let's say group. Let's do it like this. So let's group pmon, right? Sorry. Group. Why is it typing a B when I'm trying to type a P? Okay, pmon. I have no clue what's going on there, but Control C, PS minus EF group pmon. Okay, so if you can tell, I did pmon. Now pmon will tell you if your database is up. But as you can see, it's doing it for testDB and it's doing it for DLDB. It's doing it for both. It's telling you that those two databases are up. So you can also do PS minus EF grep testDB, and it's going to show you all of them for testDB. Okay. So then you can also do PS minus EF pipe grep dev DB, and it shows you all the one for dev DB. And you can also PS minus EF grep dev DB grep pmon. Alright, so as you can tell, you all see how it works. That is an interview question, beginner's interview question. You're going to get asked that. So make sure you know that command, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Alright, so now I'm going to show you all how to use Filezilla. Like I said, I use Filezilla all the time. Let's go ahead and open it. Filezilla. Okay, so Filezilla is a transferring tool. FTP stands for File Transport Protocol, and that's basically what Filezilla do. It transfer. I'm sorry, you guys. Your files from, well, as you can tell, we are on, this is Windows 7, but we have a Linux server. So basically with Filezilla, I'm able to transfer files from Windows 7 to my Linux server. And what you would want to do is you would want to get your host ID. For you all who probably don't remember how to do that, what you want to do is you want to SU to root, and then you want to put in your password. Okay, once you do that, you just want to type IFCONFIG. And here is going to be your host ID right there. Okay, so I'm going to exit out because I already know mine, I believe. So open Filezilla. It's going to be 192.168.80.128. Username is going to be testDB. Password. Okay, so in this port, the port number for FTP is 21, but I always put the port number for SFTP, and that's going to be 22. Sometimes FTP does not work for me. So if it doesn't work for you, if 21 doesn't work, put in 22. Okay, so as you can tell, you all see here, it doesn't say connected, but it's definitely connected. It normally says connected. Okay, there it is, connected to. Okay, so basically we are in that folder, and these are the files that's in my home folders. Anytime you see dot, they won't show up in SQL plus. I mean, they won't show up in Linux. See, if I hit ls, I'm not going to see anything. But if I do ls minus al, I will see exactly what I see here. Well, as far as folders anyway. I meant files. You see, you have the bash history, the bash logout, the bash profile, as you all can see, the same thing, and that's our profile DB. So they line up basically. Alright, so to transfer files, well, what I'll do is, I'm in my E drive now, but you know, wherever you have files stored, you can just click on computer, and I'm gonna go to computer, and like I said, we're gonna be working in the scripts directory. So what I will do is, I will go here in scripts, and I want to transfer it to ADM DBA. So I go here to ADM DBA and go to scripts. Now these are all my scripts, and the scripts that we are going to work with today is practice scripts, and I'm going to place all those. I need to give this a rename. .SQL. Anytime you see .SQL behind the script, that means it has to be ran in SQL plus. Anytime you see .sh, that means it has to be ran in Linux. And I can probably show you all the difference later. But we are in the scripts directory, so I'm going to drag all these over. Now, to test it out, you come here, and we're going to CD to, well, actually we don't have to CD, we just hit S. And it takes us to the script directory. If you hit LS, the scripts are there. So you all see how it works. That's basically how you use Filezilla. I use it every day, and as a DBA, you are going to use it. Okay, so, alright, let's see. Okay. Alright, now this is going to take some time. So I think what I'll do is create a new video, and I'll go ahead and talk about user roles and grants in the next video, because right now I am 36 minutes in. So I'll stop here and just create a second video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. And like I said, those are tips that I definitely have definitely made my life easier. I hope it helps you all out. Happy studying, you guys. Be blessed. Enjoy the video. Comment, subscribe, all the other good stuff. And I definitely appreciate a lot of the messages you all send. I get a lot of thank you inboxes. I don't know why you all don't comment. I would appreciate it if you commented as well, but I definitely get a lot of inboxes. I definitely want to highlight. I guess I can. Let me go to as a matter of fact, I won't do that. But thank you all. I definitely appreciate it. And I'll go ahead and create this second video because I'm sort of already high on time. Thank you guys.